Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are totally demystifying the South African car rental industry and turning it into your ultimate survival guide. Whether you're studying this for a tourism syllabus or you just want to stop getting ripped off at the rental counter, you are absolutely in the right place. Let me ask you something right out of the gate. Do you think renting a car is just a simple, straightforward transaction? Hand over some cash, grab the keys, and boom, drive off into the sunset. Well, picture this. You've just arrived after a long, exhausting journey. You walk up to the rental counter of a major South African agency, and suddenly, you are faced with a mountain of complex paperwork, super confusing acronyms, and a seemingly endless list of hidden fees. It can be incredibly overwhelming if you aren't prepared. But hey, don't worry. By the end of our time together, you'll be navigating that rental counter like an absolute pro, armed with the exact knowledge you need. Okay, let's dive right into this. Our chronological journey today covers 4 quick steps. 1. The rental desk reality. 2. Insurance alphabet soup. 3. Navigating hidden charges. And finally, number 4, footing the final bill. All right, section 1, the rental desk reality. Let's talk about the conditions for renting. Listen, before you can even dream of smelling that new car scent or, throwing your bags in the trunk, you actually have to prove to the agency that you meet their strict baseline requirements just to drive the vehicle off the lot. There are 4 absolute mandatory conditions here. Step 1 is your age. You have to meet the specific minimum age requirements set by major car rental companies. Step 2, obviously, you must possess a valid, recognized driver's license. No big surprises there, right? But step 3? That is where people often get unexpectedly tripped up. You must be creditworthy. You can't just promise you're good for it. The company needs verifiable financial trust to hand over a highly valuable asset. And finally, step 4, the literal signing of the contract. Those last 2 conditions, proving your creditworthiness and formally executing a legally binding contract, they are just as critical to the process as having your license and being old enough to drive. Moving on to section 2, insurance alphabet soup. We're getting into rental packages. Okay, welcome to the part of the process where the fine print literally seems to shrink, and honestly where most people's eyes just completely glaze over at the desk. Choosing your rental packages and options is notoriously the most complex part of the entire rental process. When the agent spins their computer monitor around and asks what level of cover you want for your journey, you are going to be hit with a dizzying wall of capital letters. It's an absolute alphabet soup, so let's decode these acronyms so you are fully prepared to choose the right package. And this brilliantly illustrates the core divide. On one hand, we have your standard tier packages, CDW, which stands for Collision Damage Waiver, and TLW, or Theft Loss Waiver. Now, waiver just means the company waives their right to charge you for the full price of the car, but you still pay an excess out of pocket. It's your baseline safety net against accidents or a stolen vehicle. But on the flip side, we have the S tier, SCW and STLW. That S stands for Super Collision Damage Waiver, and Super Theft Loss Waiver. Upgrading to Super massively shrinks that excess amount you'd be forced to pay if something goes terribly wrong out there on the road. The difference between these two really comes down to your personal financial liability. Now, there is one more crucial piece of the puzzle to look out for, PAI, or Personal Accident Insurance. Unlike the collision and theft waivers we just looked at, which, protect the actual metal of the car, PAI is a specific standalone insurance option designed to protect human beings, specifically you, the driver, and your passengers in the unfortunate event of an accident. It's its very own distinct choice within this alphabet soup. Knowing the difference between protecting the car and protecting the people ensures you understand exactly what your chosen package actually covers. On to section 3, navigating hidden charges. Let's look at the additional costs. Oh man, this is the infamous gotcha moment of the contract. You think you know your daily rate, and then bam, an avalanche of extra costs suddenly appear on your final bill. To make sense of this madness, think of these fees in 2 totally distinct camps. First, predictable additional costs. These are fees tied to logistics or specific choices that you can generally plan for. Second, unpredictable incidental costs. These are sudden, reactive penalties that only hit you if things go wrong during your rental period. Okay, let's rapid fire through those planned costs. Take a deep breath, here we go. Tourism levy, fuel deposits, airport surcharges, additional drivers, contract fees, delivery charges, cross-border fees, and optional equipment. It's almost comical just how many separate fees exist before you even start the engine. But knowing they exist means you can calculate your true cost. For example, airport surcharges exist because airports charge rental companies a premium for that prime real estate, and yep, that gets passed right on to you. Need to share the driving? That's an additional driver charge. Adding a GPS or baby seat? optional equipment charge. It all adds up. Then we have the unpredictable side, incidental costs. Think of these as sudden financial penalties. Let's say you get into an accident. Well, you aren't just dealing with the insurance waivers we discussed earlier. The rental company will actually hit you with a specific administration fee just for the paperwork of processing that accident. And what if you get caught speeding by traffic camera? The rental company receives that traffic fine, they pass the fine directly on to you, and usually they tack on another admin fee just for the hassle. You obviously cannot plan for these in your initial budget, but you absolutely must understand that they are lurking in the background of your agreement. Which brings us to Section 4, footing the final bill. Let's talk payment options. Ultimately, successfully securing your vehicle comes down to understanding the accepted payment options and methods required to clear all those daily rates, tourism levies, and insurance waivers. Because of everything we've learned today, especially those completely unpredictable incidental costs like fines and accident fees, major car rental companies are very specific about how you pay. This links directly back to that creditworthy requirement from our very first step. They almost always need a payment method, typically a major credit card that allows them to hold a secure deposit. This ensures they aren't left holding the bag if you incur a bunch of those incidental charges out on the road. So, we've navigated the baseline requirements, we've decoded the alphabet soup, and we've dodged those hidden fees. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. Do you truly know what you're signing at the rental counter? The next time you're handed a pen, remember that you aren't just renting a car, you are entering a highly structured financial ecosystem. Be prepared, ask the right questions, and never, ever let the fine print catch you by surprise. Thanks for joining me to unpack this, and stay curious.